just give me a second. I gotta get a good fire. It got hot in here, so they let the fire die before the kids went to bed. Get that going. It's all right. We're just getting the fire going, folks. Don't freak out. I'm right here. Into bed, and we let the fire die because it was a little warm. We'll let that fire. It won't take long. Won't take long for that to heat up. We're live. Let that fire heat up there. Y'all think y'all got the best view, but I promise you, I got the best view. Not because of the fire either. I'll let y'all in on a little secret. I got this hot woman doing yoga right there in front of me. That's not a mannequin, that's actually a real person. She's holding a pose for a long time though. I gotta wait for her to move. Oh, there she moved. That's a real hot woman. But y'all don't get to look at my wife do yoga. Get to look at the fire. That's some funny stuff right there. So we're gonna talk about Kelsey. We're gonna talk about some insider close information. Okay, thanks Jessica for showing up. We're just now getting the fire started. You missed the video of my hot wife. Had to give me a glass of water. Y'all chill. Too bad y'all can't see that. The best view is definitely on the other side. Long side, okay. I'm here, I walk the puppy. Get to the point. Oh, if you came here for a short video, you might as well leave. Because tonight, had to get the laptop out. Can you hear all right? The video is choppy. I wonder if my phone's getting fiery. Yeah, I'm checking my internet connection. This is what I'm doing, people. I have to see what's going on before I release this information. I can't be letting it get out half-hearted. Let me pull up my Facebook. Let me go to my... Yeah. He knows credible people, etc. Maybe I know some... I'm trying to get messages because this is where we're going to start. First of all, let's backtrack a little bit what we're talking about so that everybody knows where at least I'm coming from. I can't do this from my wife's account, so I need to get out of my wife's account. I got to get logged in. I know it's choppy. Is it working or is it not? I don't know if it's working, but give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. If all you are, but you can hear me okay, then I'm going to believe it's much better than Facebook. As long as you can hear me, that's all that's important. Let me get to my... I know y'all want me to hurry up and tell me. Hurry up and tell me what's really going on with this case. All right. We are in Facebook. So let's go back to what we know today. I can hear you perfect. If you can hear me, then you're good to go. Because you don't need to be looking at my ugly face anyway. So sometime this morning, probably around like 9:30 this morning, Facebook message about FBI town, the FBI into some new information, and there was going to be some breaking news. It's kind of what I got. The message was this morning. I then all right. It's coming in as we speak. Right now I'm verifying some very key things. I just got my laptop pulled up. I'm looking for something real quick, guys. If you're here, I'm going to be here. If we break and lose connection, come again, choppy. Okay, if we lose connection, just tell me. That's hot. Maybe I'll back this up a little bit. Let me back this up away from the fire. I'm thinking if that's slowing me better. Maybe it's getting overheated. Oh, let's back it up a little bit. Guess I'm gonna have to set me up a live studio or something because I thought you already had the info. I have the info. I want to make sure that I'm gonna tell you what's going on. So this morning I got a message. Uh-oh. Just had another message come in. I'm trying to see what's going on. All right. I'm trying to, all this stuff is coming in real time right now. This isn't like I want to know. Okay. So I got a message this morning about FBI was in town. FBI was going to be doing some more investigating. CBI was going to be in town. Things. This is lame. Good. Go. Bye, Lisa. Leave right now. So then somebody sends me a text message and says cops are en route to Kelsey's house. We close up a few things. We run out the house. We run up there. No one's around the area. Don't see anyone. Come back down, check a few little things out, find out some more information, head back up there. Well, looky this. FBI, CBI, cops. That took us to a live video that we posted on the underground. Posted. We walked, we talked to the cops. We didn't walk up there, we drove right up and talked to the cops. At that point, those cops that we were speaking with, that were blocking the entrance into Kelsey's backyard there, those cops, Woodland Park, were not privy to what was going on inside the house. Basically, Woodland Park Police now been downgraded to basic traffic cops, right? There was 2 Woodland Park police officers on location, both of which were working traffic. Okay, so the people that were inside the house were FBI, and I believe there was Colorado Bureau of Investigations vehicle on location. I know the FBI van was there because not only did I see it from where I was angled, I drove around the neighborhood and saw it from 2 or 3 different angles. While I was on location filming a live video, what I could observe were FBI agents removing boxes and other articles from the apartment and putting them into the vehicle, the FBI vehicle. News reports from around came by, said it wasn't happening, said things weren't going down. I get back to a message from a lady to be the neighbor of Kelsey. Well, there's a lot of people claiming to be a lot of people. So I began to do some research on this in particular person. I began to research, okay, who does she know that I know? How are we connected? How is she connected? Well, it turns out this connection now is someone that is grown up around Park. They were very much, they may not be natives from here, but they definitely are have been here a while. Some of the people that we have mutual connections with are very long-standing residents of Woodland Park. So I reach out to a couple of those people who we're mutual friends with, and I said, hey man, I'm stirring some stuff on the internet. I'm trying to check this source out. Is this lady legit? And does she live, in this area? And so I get confirmation from legitimate sources that this lady is a legit source. She's local. She lives at the location she says she does. And so whatever she's telling me for at her word, I begin to ask some of the other neighbors that I am connected with some of these same questions that I've asked her. And I began to get information back from multiple neighbors who live either in the complex where Kelsey lived or in the same vicinity. And these are like legitimate sources that I kind of vet through a lot of different ways. Maybe I vet them because I've met them. Maybe I vet them because I know people they know. But these are vetted sources. So now I'm going to read you some messages I received today and some of the questions that I asked. So we're going to go to my inbox here because I want to quote these sources for as legitimately as they are. I want to quote them so that there is a all right, here we go. I've got messages coming in as we're talking. So, hi, I've been watching your videos. I actually live right next to Kelsey. The cop car in your video, that's blocking my house. He says, if they come back, do you want me to let you know? I said, absolutely. If you see any more law enforcement there, please let me know. I said, I have a few other questions just to try to see where maybe this conversation could go. Maybe if I could get a little more information. I asked questions like, did you know Kelsey? I asked, did you know Patrick? I said, did you ever see any other guys? Do you believe in Kelsey had a relationship? You're the closest person I've ever spoken with that lived next to them. What can you tell me about ever seeing them together or things like that? So those are some of the questions I asked both this neighbor as well as some of the other neighbors who lived around there. These are some of the responses I got. Her truck was always here, so it didn't seem like she visited him in Florissant. Never really saw them together romantically. When I asked if she had seen anybody else there, she said, I actually been wondering the same thing. When I saw the pics of Patrick on the news, he didn't seem familiar to me. And his red truck wasn't familiar to me either. I remember an older looking blue or black truck. But I think it was him because I'm pretty sure they were swapping out the baby in the morning sometimes. I was wondering if he just got a new truck since she moved down a few houses. But I do think he's up to something. That was one of her answers to me. I said, when was the last time you saw Kelsey or Patrick? I see you for a year or so. Have we ever met? So I was still trying to figure. I was trying to figure out if she had known, if I knew her or not, because I was trying to get a little bit more information. So as an outsider that didn't know either of them well, didn't even seem like a couple. I saw her truck a lot when I drove up the hill to exit the complex. I didn't actually see her since she lived right next door to me in May. So this was one of Kelsey's closest neighbors. She lived next door to her for a time, and then she had moved up to a different room or a different complex, a same complex, different address, just up a few condos up. This woman said that when Patrick would come and pick up the baby, he would block her driveway with his truck. And she didn't know this red truck very much at all. She said it wasn't for her. She said there was this other truck that was more familiar to her, and she wasn't even sure if Patrick would come. Then she kind of went back and said, no, it must have been him. I have another. Oh. I asked her if anything else seemed off. She said, okay, so here's what I saw. So as far as an outsider, I didn't know either of them. They didn't even seem like a couple. But I did hear from a reliable source that they broke up the day before. I saw her truck a lot when I drove up the hill to exit the complex, but I didn't actually see her since she lived right next door to me in May. Super observant in the sense of when and how and where she saw Kelsey last, except that it was back when she lived next door to her. Earlier in my conversation, I asked her about if she knew her more, and she said she didn't know her except that she would wave at her when they would see each other. She would see me, and she would be reading books. So I asked, she did live right next to me, but she moved down a few houses back in May. She was always outside reading with her baby when the weather was nice. We would just wave to each other and say hi when we got home or left at the same time. Her mom, oh, this is what I forgot to get to. Her mom visited a lot, and Patrick used to block me where I couldn't pull out of my driveway when he would drop off the baby. Laugh out loud. So she makes a statement in here that said the mom visited a lot. So a lot of people have been asking questions about her mother and the situation. But from the neighbor's standpoint, oh, was it her mom or his mom? That's an interesting question. It sounds like her mom visited a lot, and Patrick used to block me. She said it was her mom, so I have to assume it was her mom. The question is, was it his mom? Because his mom does live closer. So this neighbor wasn't best of friends with Kelsey. She lived very, very close to Kelsey, but she didn't know Kelsey outside of waving at her here and there, seeing her read the book. There's an older bluish truck. Why that red truck wasn't familiar? It's a newer truck that he has gotten. You know, this is just from the neighbor. I asked her if it was weird. I said, let me ask you a few more questions. I'm going to talk about this. I'm not going to mention your name. I asked, have you talked or chatted with anything else that seemed weird or out of place with Kelsey, or anything you might have said to law enforcement that no one is talking about? Did you have to talk to the cops? So I asked her if she had to speak with the police officers, and this was her statement. Nothing seemed off. I haven't been home when the FBI was here, so I haven't talked to anyone. But my kids were home and gave statements to the news crews that came out. I'm not even sure that's legal to do with minors. Laugh out loud. I wish I knew Kelsey more and I had more info to help. Those were kind of her focus of the answers. So Kelsey doesn't know even her closest neighbors very well. According to his neighbors, the relationship between Patrick and Kelsey wasn't openly romantic. She does mention that through some sort of reliable source to her that they broke up on Thanksgiving, and that's where there was news about that. The other information we got today was I'm gonna pull. I have gotten so many freaking messages. Now I got to go back and find. Come on. So we were told that yeah, I love the YouTube. This is the difference between my YouTube and my Facebook. I get to keep all the craziness out of my Facebook, where you guys could be they go crazy on YouTube. KRDO, KKTV were both on Lucy's house. To both new sourcing was removed from the location. I simply drove up and simply shot a little bit of video with my phone and showed multiple vehicles or multiple what looked like were stuff out of the house. We could sit here and argue over what was coming out of the house, what was coming um, what was in boxes that they removed from the house. Yesterday, they started digging in waste management dumpsters. Today, FBI, CBI, Woodland Park Police were at the residence removing property from Kelsey's house. We're not 100% sure on what that property was, but this is what we do believe is going to happen in the next few days. The next few days is the end of the month. If the end of the month rolls around and Kelsey hasn't been found, Kelsey hasn't returned, we believe that the property owners are probably going to begin to remove Kelsey's property from that apartment. What we believe today was removed were items that the FBI, the CBI, did not want to get lost in a custody battle with property owners, with family members, with anyone. So, according to neighbors, Kelsey didn't leave a lot. So she didn't, can they do that with an ongoing investigation? Kelsey owns the duplex. Kelsey owns the duplex, they say. Well, if she owns the townhome, then that's a different story. I haven't even got into that. I'm I haven't been digging in people's property. So owns it. So then there now the question would be, are they removing property